We are live.
Hello.
Hi, Diana. Thank you for joining me tonight. Diana Boles,
As
aka Oil Painter, is here, and we're going to discuss who Pluto going into
Ooh.
Aquarius, which has so much to do with all different prophecies and oh Lord, we're going to try to piece it together in a way that everyone can see where it, well, I think we all know here. Hi, Akila. Hi, Janet P. Hi, Jay. Hi, Angela. Hi, Kate. Just going to say that real quick. We can see we're in, hi, Perrette. We're in transformative times.
Mm.
And this is the day I've personally been waiting for a couple of years. But I jumped the gun a little bit, because Pluto and Aquarius is just going to go into Aquarius 0 degree for a couple months and then back to Capricorn 29 degrees for a little bit. And then back to Aquarius for 0 degree for a couple months. And then Capricorn is going to go back to 27, almost 28. And every time it goes back to Capricorn, it's going to enlighten us about something else that needs to transform or die, which is Pluto's motto. Pluto is a change agent, and it's usually the whole of humanity. Now, of course, it affects us individually in our charts, and we should all have an idea of what's leaving. It's time to go, time to restructure in our own lives. But the point for this show tonight is to make you all aware that the next year and a half, 2 years are going to be very bumpy, and the outside world is going to try to grab you and bring you into that lower vibration and stress and worry, and it's going to look really concerning. It's going to look bad, but it's not, because once Pluto in Aquarius goes full force direct, which is January 2024. It actually starts in November 2020. Is that 2023? Yeah, the end of November, but it takes a while for it to move a degree. So it is actually on its way January 2024. Then we'll have a better idea of all of the issues that have come up every time it's gone back and forth and back and forth, and we'll know, and individually in our lives, and we'll know out in the world politically, the banking system, um, politics, you name it, any big structure that is not in integrity is going to be restructured, because that's what Pluto does. Now, you might ask, why hasn't Pluto done that in Capricorn? Capricorn is about money and about structure, about time, and those powers that be, the 1-2%, have a whole, he favors them. Well, as soon as he leaves Capricorn, Aquarius is for humanity, freedom for all, everyone having a say at the table, everyone coming together, working together to bring a whole new vision, because that's another thing Aquarius is a visionary. He thinks outside the box. He brings up new solutions and ways to go about doing things. Um, he had Pluto and Capricorn had the chance for 18 years to have a system that was in integrity, but they didn't do it. And we see 2 weeks ago, the banking system, the start of it, took a hit. Go ahead. I
Which,
know.
well, I want to add to that because y'all know I moved here from Virginia. And in Virginia, the bank I was with was called SunTrust. And just before I moved, it was announced that they were merging with BB&T. Well, oh boy, I'm going to Michigan. There's no SunTrust and there's no BB&T. So now what? They merged with a bank called Signature.
Mm,
So Silicon Valley went belly up, and Signature was the other bank that went belly up.
mhm,
And I kept getting a poke from my angels, probably from a little of the astrology as well, but mostly from my angels.
mhm,
Because the minute it was Signature, I already wanted out of there.
mhm,
But I still had my car loan attached to SunTrust,
mhm.
and I was almost paid off, but I had another
Ooh,
year to go. So I didn't want to get out of there till the car loan was paid off, because I didn't trust this Signature bank to begin with. And I wasn't exactly sure how this is going to work, because they weren't affiliated with where I got the loan, where the bank secured the loan for me. So I just kept making my payments, finally got out of there. The minute that payment cleared my bank account, I closed the account. That was a year ago. In July, it'll be a year. And I'm like, I'm so glad I got out of there. Not that I had a whole lot of money in it, but my point is, it's just one of those things when your angel pokes, when your angel whispers, then gives you a poke. Listen, they're
and
telling
ask,
you
and
something.
ask, yeah, and ask your angels and guides. Is my bank now safe? And we're not here to spread fear, but
No,
we want to bring awareness that the next couple of years are going to be bumpy,
right.
and these things do happen. When uh, um, Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, the moment he did, we had the financial crash. And he kept giving them chance after chance for 18 years to get it right, to bring it up to where it was a solvent system. And instead of that, they kept doing quantitative easing every time they got a little bump and the banks were struggling or the financial something in the financial sector was struggling. So, but that's over with as soon as Pluto is fully in Aquarius 2024. So the reason why I'm seeing all these things is because we're going to see it'll be an indicator every time we go back to 0 to 29. There will be something that's in the news that is coming up. We'll probably have gerrymandering. A lot of the election stuff will be resolved. We're going to have a lot, every aspect of our lives are going to be redirected to where it's more, it's good for by the people. None of this just the top percent anymore. But that takes a little time, so always do what Diana said. Check in with your angels and guides. Always, anything you're doing from now on, be heart centered and follow your heart, follow your guides. You won't go wrong. And it's hard to tell people who don't think like we do the warnings about what's about to come up, because most people don't think astrology is real or guides are real or angels are real. But you can communicate to who you feel you can. It's hard. I've been trying to talk to my mom and my brothers. And I want to say thank you real quick to everyone, especially you, Diana, for sending healing love to my brother Nick, who was in a motorcycle accident in the beginning of March. Thank you. He wants me to tell you all thank you and how much he appreciates you, and he can't wait to meet you. So one of these days he'll be here with us. But that's there's things like that happening. Getting sick, if you feel like you're getting sick, it's something's got to come up to release. So this is a releasing type of energy with Pluto, don't you think, Diana?
It is. It is. There's something important about the degree at
Mm,
0, because it's a new beginning. So,
mm-hmm.
how do you feel today? What's it been like today?
Hmm. It's
What was it
been
like yesterday?
mm,
is today different than yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday he was at 29 degrees and 59 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And at, what was it, 6 o'clock this morning, he edged his way.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 7:24 Eastern time.
Okay.
And
He edged his way and finally made it to 00. But he's not moving very fast.
mm-mm.
He's going to be at 0 degrees till he goes retrograde on May 1st. When he goes retrograde on May 1st, he's only going to be at 0 degrees in 21 minutes.
Hold on, you mean June 11th? Hi, Deb. Hi, Ron. Sorry.
Oh,
Am I right? June 11th?
no, he goes retrograde on the 21st. And he's going to hang there the 2nd, the 9th, through till the 9th. He's still going to be at 0 degrees and 21 minutes. He's going to hang at that 0 and 21 minutes until he finally gets back to June 10th, when he's at 0 degrees and 0 minutes. So what is today is where he's going to be on June 10th, the day after my birthday, right?
So that is a good point, though, Diana brought up. Really think about how you felt yesterday or the last 2 days, because that was the end of that degree, 29, late 29 degree Pluto in Capricorn. And today is 0 Aquarius. And kind of make a note of that, or write in your journal. Weren't you going to suggest everybody write in their journal?
Now, and more importantly, because once he goes back into Capricorn, he's going to keep moving backwards till he gets to 27 degrees and 53 minutes, which brings us around February of 2022. Mm-hmm. So keep going back in your journals and keep looking at what it was you wrote down. What did you experience? Whether you're drawing pictures like me or whatever, what did you experience then that you are going over again? What is it you can refine and define as you go backwards? And he's only going to 27 degrees and 53 minutes. So that's not very far past that 28 degree. Mm-mm. So he's going to linger for 7 days at 0 degrees and 21 minutes. What kind of progress can you make in 21 minutes? This is an astral arc. This is not 21 minutes as we look at time on a clock. Mm-hmm. So what kind of accomplishments can you set? What seeds can you plant in just that little bit of time? That will only be to the germination point, right? They won't even really be sprouts yet. Maybe the husks will crack at that point. And then it's going to be a slow process. He's still going to be in Aquarius, so you still have to nurture that. You still have to take care of that until June 10th, when he hits 00 again of Aquarius. And at 6 o'clock in the morning of the 11th is when he finally moves back into Capricorn at that 29 degrees and 59 minutes. And then slowly moves. And to show how slowly he moves, he'll be moving backwards from June 11th till October 10th. And then he'll be at that 27 degrees and 53 minutes. And on November 28th, which is about a month and a half later, he'll be at 28 degrees and 8 minutes. So he's not even moved a whole degree yet, I mean, he's just barely gone over it, right?
Well, I guess it would be a good, we don't usually talk degrees because we already know that it's hard for some people to get astrology at all. And we don't want to make it confusing. The thing with Pluto is it takes him, the last time he was in Aquarius was 248 years ago, when the United States was born. French Revolution, Haitian Revolution. What's that?
The Ides of March.
huge changes for humanity. Like before that time, there was never a middle class in France. There was the peasants and the very, very wealthy. So look, just in that 248 years since then, how how far we've come along. And that was all that was all in Pluto. I mean, they did take it to the extreme where they took him to the guillotine and they did all that. But those, those were buildups of years and years and generations of abuse, to the poor and to the working class. Well, it wasn't even the working class. But so the reason why we're bringing up these degrees for the next year and a half, that's 0 to 20, back to 27, is that these you probably have your seeds planted now or have an idea of what your heart, where you want to follow your heart and your guides guidance. But look at what happens on these days. If you can, you'll feel it, because these are it. When Pluto changes the sign, it's not just a smooth boom. It's took him 2 weeks with that banking stuff, but I knew that's what was coming. So I mean, and all of these systems are going to be under microscope, under scrutiny. So we are part of these systems, and this is why we want to have this discussion, because, like Angela, she's got herself, knows how to, you know, prepared for everything. So be prepared. Be prepared. Really be prepared right
Well,
now.
and if you're trying to learn and understand your own chart, it's important to understand what degrees are about.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly with this Pluto thing right now, we just want to stress how little territory he covers over
Yeah.
such a little time.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, January 20th, when he gets back to 29 degrees in 59 minutes, look at it's taken how many months to get back to that, and he only went to barely over 27 degrees. He only went 4 minutes past 28 degrees. So it's a slow process. The whole thing is going to be a slow process because we're talking about a slow moving planet, one of the slowest.
Yeah, and we're already frustrated at the how long things are taking in the political arena, in quite a few arenas, just not the political arena, but especially that one is in our face. It and that's a really good idea. I was watching Pam Gregory right before we got on, and her suggestion was not to watch the news at all. Like these next 2 years, because not only are we having so slowly just going front and back, 0 to 27, the most he's going back is 27:48 or something. 0 and 29 are critical degrees. These are the degrees that stuff happens, seeds are planted, things are happening.
So
29.
you can see it playing out.
Yeah.
You can see it playing out because we've already gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have an opportunity to set the stage for where we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to go that far back. He's going to cover recent territory. He's going to go over recent territory. And then, of course, going forward, he's going to go over that recent territory again. But this time, not to move back, not to go into a retrograde until November of 2024. And I don't want to scare you, but yes, he's going to tip his toe. I think he goes like 29 degrees in 27 minutes. So he's going to hover right at that 29 degree, 28 degree when he goes in November. And it's very brief because he goes back into Aquarius after that, not to leave again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
it's just
really,
get ready.
it is really, I'd say, probably the biggest aspect of our lives, especially now, where with the technology and the things we have. What do you think?
Yeah. So, well, no, what I was going to say is, you know how you sent me this video yesterday, and every time I went to watch it, I got like the dogs went crazy, or I had to stop, and then I got distracted doing something else. So I tried to watch it again in the car, where less distraction. Oh no, the dogs are barking at every single thing. A bird flew across my path, and they're barking like crazy. So I wasn't meant to watch it.
Right.
But this is where Saturn in Pisces is doing us a favor.
Yeah.
He is distracting us because he's trying to set a boundary while he's in a sign that doesn't care for boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bottom to the ocean, and yeah, he's got a shoreline, but he can crash with waves over the shoreline. And we don't know all the turmoil that goes on underneath the ocean because we don't feel it all on the top. Sometimes it can be smooth as glass. You know, you live near the ocean. It can be smooth as glass. And underneath, there's a tempest going on, right? So he's trying to help us. I wrote this morning while I was trying to meditate on why I couldn't watch that video yesterday.
It's okay.
And so it's he's applying boundaries when illusion visions make you gasp. And it's time for the refining. It's a time of, oh, wait a minute. It's not that this is wrong, but I must finish this story first. I have to stay focused and committed to what I'm working on. And then I can move into this other realm. I can move on to bigger and better things. And that's Saturn helping Pluto out, helping us through this Pluto yo-yo business that's going to be going on.
Yeah. I should say that real quick. Every planet's in play here every minute of the day. This is not just Pluto's game, but Pluto is in a very important degree for humanity, for us, and we're here about ascension. We're here about leveling up. And to me, this was the indicator that yes, here we are, like right before the age of Aquarius, Pluto going into Aquarius. That's another thing. You can't really put a time on it. You know, when does an age start? But we have Saturn in Pisces tomorrow. Mars leaves Gemini and goes into Cancer. We have other planets in play, but after this equinox and the new moon, we had Saturn went into Pisces about a week or two before that. Then we had Pluto changing signs today, and I'm sorry, Saturday is when Mars moves into Cancer. So this is all new energy. These are like plant your seeds energy, because Saturn in Pisces is really sweet, you know, for a Saturn sign. Mars in Cancer is really sweet. They say that they're not happy there, but this is really helping us in humanity.
Well, he's on vacation when he's there. He's like, I'm a warrior. But right now, he's Ferdinand the Bull. You know, he's like sitting in the field, picking the flowers, pulling the petal leaves off. He loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. So it's time to, you know, finish what you need to finish. Plant the seeds for what it is you want to begin. And when you're finished with what your focused is, then go, like what I was saying about that video is, I have to finish this part of what I've been working on, and then go back and compare my notes to what she has to say.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating as hell for me because I kept trying. I wanted to say, Valerie, I did it. Okay.
I do that with videos too, though. And you just do, you know, hey,
right?
they don't want me to deal with it right now.
Spirit was telling me, you know, you got other fish to fry. I'll let you know when the time is right, but it's not right for you right now. So there is that. And I don't know why I didn't think to send you this. You know,
oh yeah,
this is the way the chart is going to look This is the way the chart looks today. Hello. We have all this beautiful craziness in here. Look at it. I mean, there's so much good that can come out of this. We have these mystic rectangles going on. We have a grand trine going on. And we almost have a full Merkaba going on. We do a little cattywampus, but we've got the Merkaba right there. We are on the precipice. We are on the verge of that ascension, of that higher self. And then this is the inner circle is today. And the outer circle is what it's going to be like on January 24th. So basically everything's going to still be the same place. Chiron is going to be, today he's at 25 degrees and 24 minutes. I'm sorry, that's Neptune. Neptune will be at 25 degrees and 28 minutes. He's not going to move far by January. Then we have Chiron in Aries at 15 degrees and 6 minutes. On the 24th of January, he's going to be at 15 degrees and 44 minutes. They're not going anywhere. The only thing that's going to change are the bread and butter planets, like Pam likes to call them. The things that are Venus, Mercury, Mars-based stuff. The things that get us through the day, the job, the family, the chores, the fresh air. Times Square.
But that's telling us when there's that many planets, and there's a lot of asteroids involved too, and a lot of them are the goddess asteroids that are supporting us, supporting ascension. And they do take a long time to go around, right? So, but this is getting us what all these slower planets and asteroids are doing are getting the details, digging out what is no longer serving humanity.
Right.
Into the details of how to fix that. Where's the solutions, right?
Right. Black Moon Lilith ain't moving at all. So anything that is,
she's staying in Leo.
Don't bug me. I've got to be independent on this. Is still going to be independent. Well, and she'll be retrograde at that point, but she's at 21 degrees now, retrograde, and she will only be at 22 degrees on January 24th. So she's not going anywhere fast. We'll have on the 24th, when Pluto is at 0, the sun will be at 0 degrees and 53 minutes of Aquarius. So they're going to be conjunct.
That's going to be so awesome.
My God, this is where my Jupiter sits. It's at 1 degree. So Pluto's going to be fucking with me and he's doing a good job of it because I'm behaving, or I'm trying to behave.
I'm behaving too. Pluto's been on my shadow for quite a long time. And anyone, if you have any questions about any of this, please ask questions, because we know it gets convoluted. We're trying to make it, because this does affect our every minute of our lives. What's going up above us? What's all these energies around us? And it's not an easy thing to explain, but this is like the marker point. This is life-changing in energy. T-Barb says, I don't get any of it. I'm sorry, T-Barb. Oh. Well, Pluto went into Aquarius today after 18 years in Capricorn, and will be there until 2044. Aquarius is all about freedom and the collective, humanitarian issues. So this to us is like the beginning of the age of Aquarius. Ascension, moving up out of the denser energies into finer, higher vibrating energies.
And we still have about 140 years to go before we're in the age of Aquarius.
But the thing is, whether it's tomorrow or 140 years, we've been here on the ground. We're the ground crew. We are here without people like you and Diana that decided to be heart-centered and soul-centered and be of truth and love, we wouldn't be, we'd still be in the dark ages. We wouldn't be out of the misery that a lot of this planet has been in for thousands of years due to organized religion and money construct and you know
Us
um
turning over our power
mm,
to do these things for ourselves. Because you bring up religion, think about as a recovering Catholic, I still, that's where my faith is based. And there's a lot of things that I don't let go of. It's my story of Mother Mary and Mary the Magdalene and Saint Joseph and Yeshua and God and the goddess, because the goddess is out there. The Catholic Church made Mother Mary the goddess. So we had at least one goddess figure.
mm-hmm. And every religion and every faith, whatever you believe here, we all have that core belief in our heart, right?
Right.
Whatever you want to call that unconditional love, it permeates every molecule to me on Mother Earth, and even in our entire solar system, our entire um, Milky Way galaxy. So it's just, I don't
Which
know.
brings me to the creation stories. Oh my gosh, the whole world has a creation story. And if you go and read what they are, it's jaw-dropping how closely they are related, that from a time before man had a written word, at a time when there were so many different languages, and at a time when this side of the earth didn't even exist to the people on the other side of the earth, because they had no idea it was here. And that brings up the Hopi prophecy, because Hypnicity brought this up the other day, or somehow or another we got to this point, and it was Hypnicity who mentioned that we were in the sixth sun, and we are. Each creation through the Hopi creation story, there were 4 worlds. The first was Tokpala. This began in the west. Man lived with animals, and let's see, it is Tayawa is the name of the creator.
Well, what does that mean, though, when you're in a sun? What does, like, a fourth sun or sixth sun, or?
It's the 7 generations. And they've even named a paper company after it, 7 generations toilet paper. It's the what you are supposed to do with your life is live it for the next 7 generations.
Okay.
If you abuse it now, you've abused it till the 7th generation. They will feel the repercussions of what you do now then. The world has begun and been destroyed 3 times. We are living in the 4th world, and we are emerging at the beginning of the 5th world right now. This is where we are. And the Hopi prophecy says that it takes 7 generations and then we get judged. So the first world.
You have a problem with the judgment thing, but I get it. Go ahead. I know. It's just
well, there is a creator. And if the creator has 2 asteroids hit and it rains down fire, the man on Earth may not know how to tell that story. This generation may, but the generation that emerges, I mean, we are in the 6th generation. The 7th generation should start learning now and taking notes, because they will be what emerges in the 5th world. And if they don't remember the traditions, if they don't sing the songs of creation. How many times have you read, like, In the Mist of Avalon, or the Madonna Diaries? They always, so many kings and queens sing their lineage, tell everybody's name, speak everybody's name. In Russia, you carry everybody's name in your lineage, and therefore it is written on your birth certificate. Back in the days of kings and queens. This is, I know this because it's not in my birth record, but there are generations behind me who have this birth record from Poland. So the great creator.
Well, could it be maybe the fifth, sixth sun or seventh sun dimensions?
No,
No?
that's the world.
Okay. So, like, I think Cat Mama said yeah, their judgment thing. I'm not feeling this. Are you talking about the judgment thing or the suns, the Hopi prophecy? I guess is what it is. Now, didn't we get an alignment with the Hopi prophecy when and I don't know what it is, but I know it was important and it was in the last year or so?
Well, we are in the sixth generation. It is up to us to make it or break it, because the next generation is to carry on.
And how do we do it?
Well, but I'm just trying to express how the Hopi put it in their language.
Yeah.
How it translates to English.
Okay.
There is a great mystery. There is a creator.
Okay.
The creator made a nephew. He sent the nephew to gather everything, and the nephew created 7 universes. He actually created 9. He created 1 for the creator and 1 for himself. He lives underground with the ants. The creator lives in the universe above. Now, the creator was tired of being alone. This sounds like the creation story out of the book of Genesis. Yet it's not from that. This is generations and generations and worlds of the Hopi and the Kiva and the Kutsina spirit doll is dressing as the Kutsina, dressing as these gods. It's just mind-boggling. At any rate, so the first world got to being pretty successful, and then they started fighting with each other, and they started bickering and trying to outdo each other. And God, the creator, said to his nephew, get the good ones, get them underground with the ants, let the ants take care of them and teach them how to fix things and how to make things and how to live together as a community. And then I'm going to start this rain of fire, and send down boulders and flames, and they will be protected. And when the time comes, which is centuries, we're talking about, we're talking about the creation of Earth, the 7 layers of Earth, right?
Okay. So it's always symbolism.
Yes. And these people lived in the West. And then when they went underground, the ants taught them. They taught them well. It died down. The fire stopped raining, and the earth began to flourish again. And the people came out and emerged as the second world. The second world was in the south. And it began again. And this time, instead of slaughtering each other, there were animals in both worlds. But this time, the wild animals were separated from the humans. And this time, that the animal didn't invade human territory. But the humans did the same thing again. Everything was going along fine until they got to the point. And if you think about the stories of Lemuria and Atlantis, hello. So everything got to the point where, again, we're bickering and bartering and nasty and being mean to each other. So great creator says to his nephew, gather up the good ones, the ones who are singing the songs of creation, and get them underground with the ants. This time I'm sending ice. And we had the ice age.
Mm.
And then finally things dried out and the earth came
I
back.
like it, Mama. And Gypsy JJ's asking, so was this the cave people? Yes, I think so.
Was this what?
The cave people. Was that cave?
Well, the Hopi are said to have gone underground to survive. We can also link the starseed stories to this.
Yeah, I mean, all of it is it.
All right, it all becomes linked together. And yes, so when man is living separate from the animals, now he's learning how to hunt them and eat them instead of being devoured by the dinosaurs that were walking on the earth, right? Okay, so yes, we're talking cave people.
Okay.
And then so they go back underground and live with the ants, and when the ice has melted, they come back up and resurface, and this time they're building cities and they're taken to the east. And this time what they call the stepping stones have disappeared because now God has said to his nephew, take the good ones, stick them underground, let them learn from the ants, and the rest I'm going to wash it off with water. Well, we've got Noah's flood coming at us, and this is also in the Hopi prophecies because it takes 7 generations of change to the earth. What are we doing to the earth? Now we are in the north in this fourth world. In this fourth world, we are in the 6th sun. We are the generation who makes it or breaks it. And if you will notice, there are more people returning to ritual of some sort. I don't want to say even tradition. You make your own tradition, you make your own ritual.
Mm-hmm.
You lighting the candle, holding your crystal, stepping outside with bare feet. But as the generation with the 6th in the 6th sun, where are we putting our vibration? Nephew can feel it in his core. The great creator can hear the vibration. Nephew can feel the frequency and the vibration below. So, what are we going to do with this? We have the information. We are now in the north. If we are in the north, we are in the place of wisdom according to the medicine wheel. How many of us have walked the medicine wheel?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The north is the place of owl. Eagle is the place of illumination. The south is the place of faith. The west is the place of silence and contemplation. But when you're in the north, this is to be the place of wisdom. The 5th world can emerge as the ether, the ascension, the higher above. This is where we're supposed to be headed, right?
Okay.
This is where we're supposed to go. And we have to live our lives for the survival of the next 7 generations. And we've abused Mother Earth again. We are in cataclysmic times, unprecedented redwoods falling in Colorado. You know, I mean, this is how it all ties in with the Hopi prophecy.
Well, there is a lot wrong in the world, and we all see that, and we see what's going on with Mother Earth, and we see just the devastation. But the thing is, to me, like the people are only. I'm talking about those with power and money. They're the ones who have did the devastation onto the earth. And then it seems like the people, all of us, have to pay each son or each lifetime for what the small percentage of the greedier ones do. I mean, if that's
so, so the tradition of singing the songs of creation, it's not that somebody else does it for you. It's what it is. That's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for remembering what has come before, Where are you going? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. How many times have you heard that? That was that was a real thing, because daddy got to take the bath first and everybody went down after that. Daddy, mama, then each kid by age, and the baby, he got in the dirty water. By then the water was so dirty, the poor kid never came clean, man. So
Oh, no.
I mean, it's a matter of holding that space. And that's Pluto at 0 degrees. He's holding that space while Saturn is swimming in with Pisces and trying to help us redefine what is to be a border, what is to be our boundaries, what we can let in. Pluto is holding space at 0 degrees. He's holding it for us. He's going to only go so far and then go back and only go so far and then come back and go over it again. And then he's going to give us one more chance. But he's going to be holding that space for a long time.
And don't you see, because this is what I see at the end of that, humanity comes together and we work for a common, not only ascension, but living in that higher vibration. And we come together by this point, by the time he's going forward in Aquarius, right? Just January 2024 or 5. Which should we say? But anyway, so by the time he's done here in 2044, I think that humanity will come together and demand better. We're going to demand better in our political system, in all of our systems, in our school system, in our education, in our healthcare, in the banking. I think that it's all the nefarious activity that has been going on for, let's just go back 100 years, is going to be exposed, and it's and saying this is not sustainable for all life here on Earth. And if we don't change it now, you know, what are you're gonna ruin your only planet that you're living on? All the water, the air, the soils. I say that every day. I'm always blessing the water, air, and the soil. And I think many of us, and like us, we do our little ritual ceremony things to keep putting that unconditional love vibration out into the ethers, right? To bring in a better world for everybody.
Like going to mass. You know, I don't go to mass. I don't give that power to the priest anymore. I have that power.
Right.
I have that power for myself. And it's a matter of honoring that power within you. Like the tradition you create every day in your own life doesn't have to be a tradition that has to be carried on by somebody else.
Right.
It's your tradition. It's your ritual. It's nice when you're doing it with a group.
Yeah. I love it. That's why I love this community. I love that everybody shows up and we all hang out together and discuss all this, because this really is those energies where we're making a decision. Are we gonna ascend together where everyone has all of those basic needs met, and we're making solutions to heal the world, to heal all the broken systems? Or are we just gonna let them again just throw it all away and kill each other? You know,
and to clarify with anybody else, I'm not talking about Judgment Day. No, I'm not talking about a Judgment Day. I was just trying to relate the story of the Hopi story of creation and how it aligns with so many other Bible stories of creation and so many other cultures and faiths.
Yeah, because they all do have the same story.
So how tied together that is. Of course, they were simpler people by what we have today in the way of technology, language, the written word. They didn't have that.
Right.
And it was always the woman who told the story. And what has patriarchs done to the female?
Yeah.
Taken away our power, taken away our ability to carry on the story, to sing the song.
Yeah,
Because didn't you sing a lullaby? You know, I mean,
yeah, and they did. They silenced the feminine voice for thousands of years. I mean, we're getting it back, but we're still at that point where all of us are trying to how do we make all this work for everybody? How do we do this when we have all this other stuff that is irrelevant, really? But they try to make it seem like it's the most important thing every second, and it's not. You know, what is important is our ceremony, our heart, our ability to pour out that energy into the ethers and raise up this vibration. And to me, that's what we do here, or groups like us, and in spiritual communities like us. And and I agree. I mean, there's been so many stories written down in prophecies that always have the same sort of
theme.
Yeah, yeah, and it's in all religions the same thing, right?
Right.
And
And it's not necessarily borrowed, because if we are star seeds, and if angels are actually of the alien nations, then they've delivered the same message over and over.
mm-hmm. Isn't that beautiful, Gypsy JJ? I think that all the time. Just have a community where we all have small communities, and we do these, just get together and take care of the houses and the gardens and the animals. It's
And
beautiful.
well, and what the Hopi say is, man
And even
who
T-Bar.
feels the need to build a shelter, and actually they're talking about bomb shelters,
Mm,
right? The rich man who feels the need to do that is not going to win anyway.
mm-mm.
It
And
doesn't it doesn't matter if he has a bomb shelter.
mm-mm. No, and does he
But
feel free?
right?
Does
But
he
the
feel
person
free?
who stands in his truth and who tries to elevate himself through higher vibration, higher frequency, is the one who doesn't need a shelter.
Right,
For he already stands in the truth of life.
right. And that's beautiful. And that's and that message has just in I'm not saying just recent, maybe 30 years, has started to come back in as the truth. We realized all the organized religions or organized setups were not life affirming. In fact, they were life negating. And it's taken us a while. We all been duped, and that's kind of hard, you know.
Well, and Saturn's going to be in Pisces for 7 years, so it's we're going to be able to work on this for a while.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, like you said, it's probably a little ways off. I know this is Kate, so it may be a little ways off till we're actually in the age of Aquarius, but we are the ones making that solid foundation, and there hasn't been a
Right.
foundation for centuries, really.
Our grandchildren
Yeah.
will be the bringers, and well, it depends on how old you are. Your great grandchildren, in my case, because it's 140 years till we really, 2,470 years to an era. So we're not quite out of the era yet. Although we did get a taste of it in 1962, February of 1962, when 7 planets were in Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dawning of the age
And the
of.
moon was in the seventh house. I always look. I used to try to find that exact alignment.
Yeah, no, but it was in February where they were all in Aquarius in the same house.
I mean, it's so cool. And
That
then
house depends on your chart.
yeah, and then we had the oh goodness, what was that, 1987? Oh, it just went out of my head. Where the first, like, the light was coming down, and it's called a harmonic convergence in 1987. So we had
Yeah,
this 50s
yeah.
thing, then a harmonic convergence, and then slowly and surely, all of you are like, light workers. The first, second. What was that? Dolores Cannon, where she had the first, second, third. Um, but look at these kids now. You see their eyes. Oh my God! You look at babies now, and the eyes in these babies, and you see the whole universe. It's just amazing.
And then here we go right back to the star seed, because
Mm,
if I'm a crystal seed and my son's generation is the indigo, or
Indigo.
I'm
That's what I
indigo,
was.
they're crystal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I said it backwards. The next generation is going to be what's above that one,
Right. Right.
you know?
I mean, it's just fascinating to watch it
Mm-hmm.
all unfold. I'm anxious because I wanted to be here. I want to live in that higher vibrational state in form. I know we live there when we're not in form, but I just really want everyone to live in peace. I'm so sick of seeing people struggle and people having to fight just to eat, to fight to have a roof over their heads, and it's just
Yeah.
it just really it's heartbreaking to watch
Yeah.
people suffer. And I get that's my biggest motivation, is to end the suffering of humanity, especially the majority of humanity who had no say in what those with power and money did to the earth and to the whole situation. But I do think we're going to come up out of it. Let's see what she say here. Wow. Thank you,
Yep.
Mary Thornberry. February 15th.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you.
What a beautiful.
Can you can you save that somehow so that we can go play with it astrologically?
I don't know. I have to ask Kate. Can I save just this? Yeah, I'll
Oh,
just
I
write
can
it
take a
down.
picture of it.
All
Hello.
right. Thanks. Kate has all the technical abilities, but that's really cool.
Well, yeah, I got a real technical ability too. I just took a picture of it.
Well, speaking of eclipses, though, right? We might as well get you prepared for this because April 21st, we're having the second Aries new moon, and it's an eclipse. And May 5th, we have the last Scorpio lunar eclipse. And that's
Well, and we
clearing out the systems, clearing out
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
the lies and distortion in the systems. Well, at least the Scorpio one is. But during that time period, you might feel like you can't get anywhere, but that's
Right.
normal because you
Even
don't.
though this occurs in Aries, it's at the same degree as my natal Mars in Taurus.
But the next one, the Aries.
No, no, this the Aries eclipse coming up
Oh, okay. That's
is
your degree.
is sitting at the same degree, so they're going to be parallel. It's going to be like they're working together. It's going to be like they're conjunct.
Oh, cool. Do you think
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm either going to get a whole lot done or I'm going to sleep all day. For which, yeah, haven't
and I love
decided.
and see, that isn't that the most fascinating part. I think that's why Diana and I like to come on here, because if you are tracking it even a little bit, like if you know how you felt yesterday and you know how that you feel different today, and you're just keeping an eye on that really gives you that understanding of that feeling of that energy. Now, Diana knows her chart, so she knows that that's going to be conjunct in her chart. And if any of you want any help with your charts, Diana and I would love to help you
Hmm.
anytime. Just let us know. And we can, because it's good to have these little snapshots, especially in these big energies like right now, as the equinox just went,
Mhm.
and say up to the summertime, because this is this is fast and furious energy. But then again, when you have the peak
But
that's been
slow.
there for a while, it's so
Slowly moving, fast and furious,
yeah,
right?
it's crazy. For
It's like being in circular track, and you just
I
can't get out.
know.
It's like a mat, the mouse caught in the rat in the cage, da, la, 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 the rat in the cage, the rat in the cage.
Or an
Or
amusement
going
park.
to the round track here in Michigan,
Yeah,
in Detroit. No way, man. It used to drive me nuts unless you had the big cars, you know.
yeah.
I used to love to go watch the rails drive because it's a quarter of a mile, they're done. And noisy.
It is. It is. It's going to be that way. You're going to feel, and we've kind of been through it just since COVID,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like this roller coaster. Boom, boom, boom. Is this one going to jail? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? And you know, th- this is this is kind of telling us. In fact, I would have to say it is telling us that we're not going to see any real progress there. We'll get little bits and pieces, but no real progress until maybe 2 years from now. What do you think on
Yeah.
that? I mean, we're going to hear about it every minute of the day, like we
Oh,
still
yeah.
are now. But I mean, it just I can't even listen to it anymore.
No,
It's
just
crazy.
here you go. Make your own new traditions. Deal with your own rituals. And a ritual can be something as simple as planting your garden,
Light a
starting seeds,
candle, yeah. Light a candle, hold a
like
crystal,
candles,
and
holding crystals.
absolutely, you're absolutely
Mm-hmm.
right though, planting a garden. Because every time
Mm-hmm.
you put a seed in the ground, make a wish on your or make an intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is for our individual lives. I think all of us here would love to be able to save the whole world, but we start with ourselves first, right?
Because we push it forward by doing that. It is a vibration.
Yeah.
And the next guy standing next to us picks up that vibration. We've raised it this high. He might join us and then go a little higher.
Yeah.
And his vibration gets the next guy.
Mm,
It's
it's so
you know how that ball game works, right? You pull that
yeah.
one up and then six more go that way, and then whatever that game is called, I can't remember it.
It is fascinating, and it is because I think it was Ron and Kate and I on our show the other night, where just being in that vibration, just staying in that unconditional love vibration and sending love out, it is coming right out of your heart and going into this air, what seems like it is air, not seems like it, but it's also energy and vibration and frequency, and it travels. And
Space time continuum.
yeah, and
It's
who
like Doc said,
right.
going back to the future.
And you could save, somebody could be really depressed or in a bad mood or something, and that energy comes at them and helps them. I know I've been pulled out of some dark places sometimes, and wonder, wow, I didn't really do anything. How did that happen? So I do know that we vibe off each other, and we are even that's even increasing exponentially because we're getting those psychic bounces off each other, and it's just like boom, it's really cool, especially in our practice groups and stuff. It's just so cool.
Yeah, agreed.
But if anyone have any questions for us, we're I know it was a little bit of a you know astrological talk, but we really want you all to just have that preparation in place for the next couple of years, just to keep yourselves okay. That's right, because it's going to seem like it's going to throw you right off your center repeatedly, and you
Just
just come
remember,
back and
Pluto's holding space for you. Pluto
yeah,
is holding space for you.
yeah.
It
Oh
will
yeah,
only it
Barb.
will only ever be what you make out of it.
That's right. It's true. T-Barb says, yes, our light now spreads without us even trying. We've come to that
Right.
point. Exactly. And,
Absolutely.
and we're going to keep on and keep it on. But, Diana's right. It is. all about you. What are you
Mhm.
creating for you? And don't, we're all going to get knocked off our center. Just remember, and we all do it. We all have the tools to do it. But, there's been some times where I've been knocked down where I forgot my tools. I forgot I even knew anything. I was just so devastated for a day or two. And then okay. Or I'll call Diana or Kate, or something will pull me back out of it. But I mean, it does. It takes you out. It kicks the air out of you
Yep.
sometimes. And
Kick
you,
you in the chest.
yeah. So that's why, Diana and I will be doing shows. Kate and I and Ron will be doing shows to try to keep this this conversation. It's not to keep talking about something, oh, all this bad shit's happening or it's going to happen or anything. It's to remind us of how powerful we are together, and that we can raise each other up, and we can raise up parts of the world that don't even know they need raised up. Who knows? We don't know exactly how powerful we really are.
Right. We
Hi,
have.
Jay. And Jay's back. Well, we're about to go. If anyone has any questions, let us know. And then if not, we will see you the next time, because we're going to have a lot more discussions about this Pluto in Aquarius. Because the more we see how it unfolds, we get a better idea on where that is, where that trajectory, I can never say that word, is going. So we're going to come back and discuss it some more. I'm sorry, Diana, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say before we sign off, can I
Sure,
have an
please.
invocation?
Yes, please.
Take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and hold and exhale. Please place us in a steady stream of divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and grace. Then wrap a blue bubble of protection around us that shrinks to fit us and moves with us as we step into the healing teal green orb of Raphael that floats and shares and spreads and transfers the divine white light, the white light of divine guidance and grace. So mote it be.
So it is. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Diana.
Ron, you're absolutely right, Ron.
Mm-hmm. We are. We are so much stronger together. And I didn't even know till 2 years ago that any of you existed. I mean, that's how we found each other, was here on YouTube. I had no idea. I thought I was all alone, you know?
Same here.
And I
Same.
know, yeah, y'all did too. It's like, I'm so grateful that, whew, I mean, really, went a long time, a lot of years without having anyone to to discuss this stuff with, you know. But we have each other now, and we will be back, and we'll have more talks. And we appreciate you. We love you. Keep yourself. You know what you do. Keep your vibration high.
keep, keep it high, baby.
We love you.
Bye bye.